Hello and welcome, and I am Johnny with RZG, and today we have a Black Desert video just kind of showing, if people's PCs can run this game. So let's go ahead and take a look at my PC build right now. And you guys can look at it, you can read it off. I got the AMD FX-4300, the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 750 Ti, my motherboard, MSI 760GM, B34, blah blah blah, whatever, you don't need to look at that. Anyway, memory, Kingston 16GB HyperX's for short, if you guys need to know about that. And I'm using a Western Digital C drive right here, 1TB, and this is what the game kind of looks like right now on high textures with medium quality settings. But we're gonna go up. As you can see, I'm getting 42 frames right now. I don't think the population right now is crowded in the game right now. As you can tell, not so many people around in this little village. I think everybody's like off at work and at school, so it's not so bad around this area right now. It's running pretty smooth. So there's a few horses here, not too many people in this one area. Go to settings right here, and I am using a filter. I'm using the photo filter, but we'll do it for normal. Take that shit off. Just click apply, and we're gonna turn up the settings to we'll do slightly high, and then work our way up to high. But the game does look very good, whether it's on low graphics. As long as it's not on very low, it still looks pretty decent, except your render rate and draw distance will be kind of nasty once you're looking way out there. Okay, so now my frames pretty much dropped. Should go back up to about 24 is going to be around here. Not so bad, but as you can tell, everything has changed up. I think this setting is definitely playable, but not so much when you're in a town, really. But the settings are playable. Probably not so much when there's a lot of people and I have yet to see a field boss on here, but if there ever is one, I probably wouldn't recommend coming out into the field and fighting it with these settings on. Fighting wise, it's alright. I mean, as I said again, you can play with these settings if you want, but not 100% recommended. It does look beautiful, but the only reason I would ever use these settings is probably just to take a nice looking screenshot. As you can tell, the body and the glossy effect from the water that I was just in, it shows on my character's body and armor quite well. Graphics do look very, very nice. But if you're trying to get a very nice looking game, as in high graphics with also high frame rate, I would say upgrade your card if you're using the same exact card or something similar to what I'm using. I'm getting beat up. Get out of here. Actually, let me beat it up real quick, or it's gonna follow me around. So. So anyway, what has helped me to get better frames on the game is full screen windowed. I don't know, it just helped me get pretty decent frames with a pretty good settings. The only thing I ever for optimization options, the only thing I took off was this, but I'm getting 30 frames, which is definitely playable when you're out there alone in the field, or maybe with a small party. But if anything bigger, I don't recommend. Textures are high. You can pretty much play on high textures and it won't necessarily mess with anything. Let's go to optimization mode for the card. If the game will load up. Alright, here we are. And there's the perfect 60 frames, but the game does not look like it should look. Even with a filter on, you just can't get rid of this ugliness. But if you're in it for the combat system and everything, it shouldn't be such a problem. You don't even get a... Okay, here, what I was saying is, like, you don't even get a filter. That just makes the game look even worse, but... I mean, definitely playable at this level, of course, but... it doesn't look as nice and flashy as you see in those nice builds that people have out there. And we'll go with the very high settings and see how the game looks on that. And obviously I'm not gonna get the best frame rate, probably won't be that playable, but it'll be alright. And you can definitely see where the game really sticks out now. 23 frames, I mean, I'm in the green, that's all that matters. But I'm going to be upgrading to the GTX 960, the 4GB version, just to run this game at pretty decent level, and just to see the result. And I should have a comparison video, but we'll see when we get the card. I mean, the game is, you could play it like this, but I mean, it just doesn't look as nice as it could be, or as smooth as it could be. As nice, it looks nice, it just won't be as smooth as what the game should be. But the game can be played 24 frames, and it is an RPG MMO, so just everything looks really, really, really good. And I'm not turning on high-end mode because I won't get any frames at all. But the game does look very beautiful. So, zoom in. Here, let me take off combat. She kind of looks like a ghoul from like Tokyo Ghoul, but sorta. I'll be alright. Promise that's not what I went off of, but the world is, it just sticks out really nice. But you know, I'm gonna get a new graphics card, and we should come back and make another video and see how that one plays. But this is GTX 750 Ti, and for a pretty decent price, it, you know, gets the job done. Let's see what the frames are right now. 30. I'm getting 30 frames. Okay, 30 frames when I'm just kind of like looking. But definitely a card to go look at, you know, if you're on a budget. Definitely check this card out. But that'll be it for today's video. So until next